Okay, having completed question part A, we're going to look at part B now with 3 marks. Again, this is looking at techniques. And as you can see now, we have some bold information in the top of the screen here in the question information box. And this is what we're going to be basing the questions and answers on. So there is a consideration here to have a look at some information and therefore to get a workshop together. So it's about facilitated workshops, right? So they're looking to discuss what the professional, consistent and coherent phrase is supposed to mean and get to agreement on the terminology, which is a good idea actually. So here we have 3 questions. It's a normal multiple choice style question. We only have 4 answers to look at. So the first question is, what action should the project manager take when preparing for the workshop? So remember, workshops should be run by workshop facilitators who need to be sort of thinking about the contextual view of the workshop, not getting involved in the discussion. So anybody who needs to be involved in that discussion should not be running the workshop. So you need someone outside it. So let's have a look. Arrange for an external marketing company to present the training session to the SCT. Well, I'm not quite sure why a training session would be anything to do with what we're talking about here. This is trying to get just an agreement on some pointers about professional coherence. B, appoint a trained individual to facilitate the workshop. Right, well, this is what we just had in our heads. It's part of what should be going on here. So that looks like a good answer in this case. The PM should be getting ready to appoint somebody to run it, because the PM obviously might need to participate. C, assign ownership of the workshop to an external marketing company. Unless they're good at workshop facilitation, you wouldn't necessarily do that. And if they're supposed to be part of the discussion, then you certainly would not do that. So that's not a good answer either. D, attend a training session on how to become an effective workshop facilitator. This is not what we're about here. We need to appoint someone who's already in that position. And the PM needs to participate anyway. So the answer here is going to be B. Number 2. When preparing for the workshop, which of the following should the project manager provide the workshop facilitator? Well, of course, he needs to be able to, the PM needs to provide them some understanding what the whole workshop's about. So that's what we should be doing. So let's have a look. A copy of the RCL structure process for conducting. Well, if you engage in a trained facilitator, that should not be necessary. Flexibility to discuss any other issues or concerns. That is definitely not right. We need to stick to the agenda, and that is that understanding those 3 words and what their meaning. Background on project objective. Well, they don't need that actually. Sorry, beg your pardon. Background on project object. Read the question. You see, you should read it properly. Background on the project object question, current issue, and the goal of the workshop. Absolutely right. That's what we should be doing here. So this is what the PM needs to provide the workshop facilitator. Keep that in mind. Looks like the answer. Or confirmation that the approach to the workshop is appropriate. Well, that's not really quite relevant here. We need a facilitated workshop. We need an independent facilitator. So that doesn't need confirming by anything. What we need to do is give a background to the workshop facilitator on the objective in question. So the answer there is C. Third question. The workshop facilitator could not get the team to agree to shared understanding of the agreed terms. Well, in that case, you need to document that situation and plan for another one. So let's have a look. Present own interpretation. Well, this is completely out of the point. The facilitator should not be providing any of their own discussions or views on this. So that's not an answer. Present the group with the PM's understanding. Well, that's no better really, because that might have been done in the first place. So we don't use the PM's understanding of these terms. If they can't agree, then we need to find some other solution. Agree a plan of action with the group to remedy the situation. Well, that looks like pretty good, but that's what we need to do. How are we going to resolve that? Possibly get some independent views from them. But anyway, plan of action with the group. Or agree to disagree, close the workshop, acknowledging that all participants are entitled to the overview. Well, that is completely out of order. We need to have, remember, a rich discussion, consensus of a solution at the end. If we haven't been able to get to that point, then we need to find some way of doing that later in the piece. So the answer here is C. Hope that helps you to explain, if you did not get those answers, why the ones you got wrong are wrong, and understand that situation why the one is the right answer. If you do need some further clarification, obviously look through the handbook that talks about workshop facilitation, and any further help can be sought through the tutor via the portal on the platform. So I wish you well. Thank you.